Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm T with Teresa H Creates, and I am wrapping up my Alice in April challenge. So at the beginning of the month, I had pulled out all of my Alice in Wonderland papers and decided on some projects, and I was able to complete 6 of them, and 4 of the junk journals that I completed are in 4 completely different styles. So I was really happy to be able to do that. I still have, I think, 5 or 6 Alice collections that I didn't even touch. So maybe we'll try that again next year. But I really enjoyed this Alice in April, and I wanted to come on and do a flip through of the journals that I completed, just so that you can see what the final product looks like, because I did bits and pieces of each of these on camera. So let's go ahead and start with the little golden books. This is them. Aren't they pretty? I think I'll just do real quick flip throughs of these. I'll go into one in a little bit more detail, and then the others I'll just kind of flip through quickly because they're very similar. They're very similar. So I like to keep the little foil on the ends of the book, because I mean, is it a little golden book without the foils? And then I did paper and a three-hole pamphlet signature, or pamphlet stitch for all the signatures. And then let's open it up. Got a little bit of trim here. It says Alice in Wonderland, and this one was using the Echo Park collection. It's all those little pockets that we did together. They've got stuff in them. Did a lot of stenciling, some clusters, lots of stickers, some fun stuff, journaling cards. This comes off. You can write on the back for journaling. The story is left intact. Lots of pockets. More pockets up here. This really came together nicely. I like it. Isn't that cool? That was a little die that I just purchased and had to try out. More pockets, punches, border punches there. Just this little ephemera bit. I had all these little extra stamped images, and so I made just a little flip book there with that. All the little pockets. I try not to touch the actual book pages. I like to leave them just the way they are. There's lots of room in here for journaling, lots of journaling spaces. This is paper clipped on here. This little writing area, I did all the little torn edges here. And then I scored the last page so it'll actually come up as well. And then the third signature. Now I did kind of mix and match some of the ephemera bits that I put into each of these. So there's little bits of each of these books in all 3 of the journals of the papers, you know. But the actual base papers that created the signatures are that particular collection. So the base pages that created these signatures are the Echo Park pages. But like I said, some of the ephemera bits are not all Echo Park. They are from the other collections as well. And then some of this is just extra ephemera that I picked up. Little pockets, and there you go. More little trim. So that one was the Echo Park, and that was Alice in Wonderland Meets the White Rabbit. This is Alice in Wonderland, and all of them have the little grommets here, so that I can add, you know, the ribbon to tie it closed when I'm ready. I didn't find any colors that I specifically wanted to put on them yet, so I might order some more seam binding and tie those up later. My little envelope flips down. And this one is, what paper did I use for this? This is the Reminisce paper. This is the Reminisce collection. Tags. This is the one that I had the large 12 by 12 sheets, but there really wasn't any ephemera for it, so I ended up having to create all the ephemera for this one and use bits and pieces of the other collections to kind of fill this in, because it was just those large 12 by 12 pages that I used for the actual bases of the signature, and then that was it. Look at that. That's that oxide. The die. I love this. Just the little legs. And then a couple of pockets. I know I'm kind of going through this very quickly, but there's quite a few to get to. And like I said, these are all kind of, very similar. There's a little tuck spot here and then pocket there. Whatever. Okay, I was about to say, didn't know what I was doing there. So these were a lot of fun. I had more on my list to do, but man, when it came down to it, they're just, I always forget how involved they are. Like the bases come together very quickly, the signatures come together very quickly, and then I just spend so much time decorating the insides of these that I don't know why. I think it's always going to be a super quick process. It never is. And then this is extra journaling space. Sorry about that. Someone came up to the front and the dogs got upset. So here's another one of the little flip books. And then last page. And there we go. Why would you want to leave Wonderland? Why indeed? Okay. And then the last one, Alice in Wonderland. And then this one is the Graphic 45 paper. Little lace trim. Little teacup. This was an older book. You can tell by the aging on that paper. That was not me. That was the actual paper and the little lace pocket here. A little bit of lace trim. I didn't do the pom-poms in this one. I did a little bit of the lace trim in it. So pockets, more pockets. Tuck spot, belly band with journaling cards, and the little pocket. Some of these that I created, the ephemera on camera when I did like the craft with me's, a lot of that, the actual ephemera got mixed in, with all of it. And this was just a book page that I put in there, so that you could pull it out and use the whole thing for journaling. And then here's the little journaling section there. There's a tuck spot. And then this folds over, so that's just one sheet and it opens up. And you can use that for journaling. There's another little lace pocket and a pocket up there. Tuck spot, belly band. Another belly band, just a little journaling spot. I did some tea dye with some stencils. Just little lace bits. What's this? Oh, okay. Yep. Just a little belly band. There's a pocket. Yeah, pocket. See, there's some of that stenciling. That was a rose stencil. Pockets with lots of journaling cards. There's a large journaling card in this pocket. Pocket with some lace trim. This opens up for journaling, and there's a pocket up there. This is a little belly band here, and then the end. All right, so those were the three little golden books. So I will set those aside, and then we'll go through this one. This was the journal that I repurposed. It was already a journal inside, and I removed the inside of it. And it had kind of just this soft spine, so I reinforced that. And I'll link all the videos to these below so that you can see those. But pocket with lots of ephemera. And this one, so there was lots and lots of ephemera for this one. The doily, these guys flip up here. This one, the collection is, oh, this is a tag, but it's got a pocket on it in that little tuck spot. Oh, I'm trying to remember what collection this was. I think this was the Memory Place collection for Alice in Wonderland. And this one, yes, it is. And I had the actual, it was the one that came with the journal kit. So the pages were already there and I just added additional pages. There's that little flippy there, that little flip book you can journal. I added that pretty lace on top because that was pretty. I like to do a lot. This one was very soft, very feminine. So I like to add all the little delicate touches on that one. It's a tag. The little bits of lace and like the little flower pulls and things like that. Little bits of trim. This is a large tag that I put here, but I made it a pocket. And then there's a pocket on top. And then it's got this little guy here. I thought this was cute. And then just the pink tag. That little heart I thought was cute. Little tuck spot. This was just a single signature. Another tuck spot there with one of those large tags, and then this one flips over for journaling spot. Curiosity often leads to trouble. I find that is true. Or it can lead to happy accidents, right? Lots of pockets, lots of pockets. Begin at the beginning and go until you come to the end, then stop. I just really liked that stamp, and I liked it at the end just because it says when you come to the end and stop. And I used it, I think, on one of my other journals. I think it was actually this one I'm going to do next. So this was the altered book journal that I did. And this one I did from the Stamperia collection, and it was the Alice in Wonderland and also Alice Through the Looking Glass paper collections. And this one I did all torn edges for the base pages inside of this. So I just took my metal ruler and I tore all of these edges. So that's why they're all rough, and I didn't measure exactly, and we just did a rough guesstimate. Now, all the ephemera in the book, however, was trimmed and cut. There's a pocket through the looking glass, and this just folds over so you can use it as a journaling piece. It's got that little paper clip on it, and this is kind of 3D. I glued that on there. It had a lot of chipboard, and so I used a lot of the chipboard in this. This is some of the decoupage paper that was in there. It's so pretty. You can still see the images through it. Stamp here. So I did, I said I used a lot of this chipboard that was in there, but the chipboard is so thick that I ended up just, tearing it down so that I could use it, and it was thinner. So that's what that looks like. Just lots of, because I had all that torn paper and it was so pretty. And so I just did lots of kind of collage work with it. And I loved that this page ended up being where the picture of the white rabbit was. So that worked out perfectly. And it's got these lines already built in here. So that's nice. And then, these were all like layered pockets. So see, it's always tea time, and I've got this paper clipped on here. And then this is a pocket for some journaling cards. And then it has it's like graduated pockets. And then I loved this complete image. I thought this was absolutely gorgeous, and I wanted to leave it. And I thought, why not turn it sideways? Because, I mean, it's Alice in Wonderland. You can do whatever you want. Journaling cards. I did take this chipboard. I left it the exact thickness that it was. I added an eyelet and then added it to the actual tag. That way he just kind of dangles there. And then belly band. And then some of this decoupage. I didn't want to completely cover some of these images, and so I like to just use some of the decoupage. There's Humpty Dumpty when lots of, that's a pocket here, but lots of journaling cards and stuff. Oh, I hand tore this heart, so I've got a little heart pocket, and I've got all these in here, and I put a little label there. And then this one with Alice, no admittance till the week after next. It's nice lines for journaling spot. There's a pocket here. There's the queen there in the background. Lots of journaling spots and the little tuck spot there. Oh, the chess game. So I did stamp that with my Harlequin stamp. There's the chess pieces. This is one of the, I covered up the actual queen that was there with one of the chipboard pieces. Again, I tore that down. And then I have this cute little die set that die cut these little images out for the chess pieces, and I went ahead and put those on the board. And then there's some journaling spot or spot for pictures. Here's another one of those little flippies. I used some of the decoupage paper and then just some of the images and paper, but I did another one of those little flippy journal writing spots. And then there's a journal card here. And this is Alice with the King. There's some decoupage paper there. And then there's the little flippy there and more journaling spots. Here we go. I liked these two images, so I didn't want to cover them, and so I just added a little detail to it. Oh, and then these are more of these little graduated kind of pockets here. All these little journaling spots, and then a label here. And then the end, and I didn't do anything with this. I thought it was really pretty the way it is. And again, I put that stamp, begin at the beginning and go until you come to the end, then stop. So that is the stop. And that is the altered book. And then I did a whole tutorial on how to do this mixed media cover that I have here. And this one is the steampunk Alice in Wonderland, and I think I used the Asuka. It's either Asuka or Ashuka. I think it's Asuka papers, Alice in Wonderland papers, but I did a whole mixed media tutorial on this. Again, all the videos for these will be linked down in the bottom or in the details section. And so here we go. I'll probably add like a little card here, one of the journaling cards that'll say, you know, that way you can write who the owner is. And I think that's the only change I'll make to this. But here I did add, I don't know if you can see it. Let me bring it up close. I did add some Wink of Stella. So all of those kind of shimmer a little bit. I elevate or pop this up on Pop Dots. This is flat, but I did add those images. So this flips down, and I've got a little bit of the, I have this really cute die set. So you'll notice throughout these little gears die sets that I have, that I've got them all over this book, this pocket here. And I've got some journaling cards. This was a stamp that I got, and because it's steampunk and I thought he looked a little bit fancy pants, I decided to go ahead and stamp that on that little journaling spot. I thought that was cute. It was appropriate. And then this flips up, and then we have just some gears placed for a nice picture. Here's you can add a picture here or journal. Here you can add a picture. This is permanently on here, but it's just a little tuck spot for a matching journal, but you can journal on the back of that. It's got a matching card, but you can journal on the back of it and then tuck it back in. So let's see, that flips down and then over. I made these pages, and so I'm like, what did I do? This is a large belly band here, and you could put an image or put, you know, whatever here, but this is one of those little dies that I had as well that did the gears and the clocks. But this comes out. You can add a picture, journaling spot, whatever. And then this guy here flips down. I had originally wanted it to glue on this side so that the weight of the metal would keep the the bottom part from coming open, and then I did it wrong. I had it upside down and did it wrong, but but it's okay. It's okay. So the clock actually flips open, and then we have a spot here for pictures, and then we've got these little tuck spots up here with the little journaling cards tucked in, and then there's another one down here with journaling cards, and this is the washi tape. So I backed it on white cardstock and then put it on some black trim to create that little belly band, and that, because that washi tape that went with this set was just absolutely gorgeous. I loved all the images. So there we go. And then a nice just spot for a picture or for journaling. And again, I've got another one of those little corner pieces up there from that die. And then this one was a pocket. So there's a pocket here in the center, and this is some of the keyhole paper there. That was the only set of that paper that I had left. It was from an old collection. I think it was Alice in Halloween in Wonderland is what it was, from Graphic 45, and I just had that one piece left from that collection from a long time ago. I made a watercolor card, put all those gears on it. Every adventure requires a first step. There's a little bit of trim there. On the back side, I just added some gears here, and you can add the picture. I left this blank for a picture or for writing or whatever. I just thought it was a really pretty collage piece, so I didn't want to do a whole lot. So let's move this, and this little flip out here again for journaling or, you know, adding a photo, but it's got just a little bit of the dangles there. This is a pocket. Just a card for journaling. And I left the backs blank. I'm sorry, I left the backing of all of, yes, well, I did. I left them blank. I didn't add any white cardstock for writing because I thought that it would kind of take away from it if I added the white because it would be too stark. And then this is a little waterfall. So again, with this, I left them black, but I thought it would look pretty with a, if you used like a gold pen or a white pen, you know, to add all in little notes. So this will fit some pictures if you wanted to add pictures, but the little waterfall here with the gold trim between all of it. And this again was from that Asuka collection. There were two different collections, but they were both steampunk, and I put them together. Get that tied down. And there's just some blank space. I love this paper. That paper is so pretty. And this is from, these are both from the Graphic 45 Steampunk Debutante. So that Asuka paper was only 6 by 6, and I needed some larger pieces. So I did borrow from some other steampunk collections to kind of help fill this in. Got some gears down here. There's lots of space for a nice picture, some journaling space right here. I did do some rub-ons here and there in this book. And then this last part, there's the little, again, the gears. Nice place for a large picture. And then there's journaling spots on the back, and that right there's the queen. I thought these colors looked really well here, and there's a gear there that I didn't glue all the way down. That way it can be used as a tuck spot. And then the end, and I ended up reinforcing these pages by adding all of this. There's the same border trim that I cut down and added to all of these just to kind of bring it together, but also to just reinforce these pages so they didn't get torn out from all the use. And then I also die cut these gears and added it to all of them as well. So that is it. The only thing I have left to do with this book is put my information on the back. And then I want to add something here in this corner that alludes to the fact that it is Alice in Wonderland. And I don't know quite what that is yet. But that's really the only piece. And I could leave it blank and it would probably be just fine. But I did leave that area without any of the raised gears just so that I could add something Alice related if I wanted to further down the road. And then I might add the journaling card here. But really it's done. So for my Alice in April, I used 6 different Alice collections, and I got 4 different styles of junk journals. And I also did a set of sheet load of cards as well this month, and I didn't pull those cards out, but I did do a set of cards, and I used a different collection for that. So 7 different collections. Let me see if I can grab those cards real quick. Here they are, set a sheet load of cards. So I also did these cards, and I used a different collection for these. I was going to say, don't know. I don't think I set these to slip in it. No, they don't. So anyhow, I used a different collection for this one. So it was 7 different collections used, a whole set of cards and 6 journals and 4 different styles of journals. So I'm very happy with the way that this month turned out. I hope you like this flip through. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. I'll be sure to respond. And until next time, bye.